Welcome to this instructional video on how to do an ILS landing in a King Air. Right, so I've got up my radio stack and GPS, and I want to click on the D with the arrow for it, click on the small right hand button and type EGLL for Heathrow Airport. I want to click enter, and you can see my purple line. I go to the processes menu and select approach. It's for our ILS approach. ILS 09 left, as I'm coming it from that way. Enter. Vectors. Enter. And load. I want to click PROC twice. Ignore those menus. And here we have it set up. So now I want to go to nearest NRST. Click the big arrow left once. Oops. Something wrong there. Till we get to waypoints, then go to this screen, push CRSR, and then the big arrow left, to go all the way down to the bottom. Find out the ILS 09 left, which is 110.30, and put that in our nav at 110.30, nav 1, and nav 2, 110.30, and switch nav 1 on. Okay, we have our altitude meter here in our autopilot. I'm going to set the altitude to 2000 and click on the altitude hold. And for our GPS to work, our line, we want to click on nav, and we want to set below our compass nav to GPS, so it will follow our GPS line. So that's all set up now. Right, now for our pre-flight checks. So we want nav 1 switched on, and we want it set 110.30 and nav 2 110.30. Make sure it's switched on. Good. We want to make sure our GPS is set up correctly. So we have our purple line. So we want to go to our autopilot, set it to 2000. Make sure the altitude hold is on. Navigation's on. Nav is switched to GPS, so it will follow our GPS line. Now, we're ready to thunder down the runway. Here we go. Right, we're looking at about 150 KIAS for takeoff. So here we go, we've lifted off. Climbing to around about 500 feet to turn on the autopilot. So we see the autopilot button is the AP, which will turn on the autopilot and make it follow our line that we've all set up. So we're nearing it around about now, so I've clicked the button. As you can see, it might dip a bit, but that's okay. It's just natural for the plane to adjust itself. It's turning onto a line, so if we look at our GPS, if I can get it up, as you can see, the plane is turning onto its course and is climbing to around about 2000 feet, where it will follow the line all the way. Right, we're around about 23 nautical miles away from our destination. So we want to start activating everything. So we go to processes menu. That beeping is the ILS we've picked up from our radio. We want to activate vectors to final, and the plane should turn onto course to vectors to final, where we will begin our approach and finally our ILS landing. As we're getting closer, we will have a glide slope to use for the ILS landing. This depends on height for different runways. As we don't know the height for this runway, just to be sure, we're going to set it to 1,500 meters. The plane should decrease, as you can see, and then it will stabilize at 1,500 meters. Right, as we're just pulling onto the vectors final, remember you can rewind this video at any point if it gets too confusing. It shouldn't. I'll just make that smaller. Right, can you see the runway ahead? Almost straight ahead now. As you can see, we've still got ILS. So now we want to switch from GPS to nav. Now, as you can see, a little arrow has appeared. This at the moment means we're too high to pick up the glide path. No, too low, sorry, to pick up the glide path, which is good for us as we head for the runway. That should decrease, so then we'll catch it at any one point. So 1,500 meters. We want to switch to approach now. Any minute. As that arrow, see it's coming down now. As that arrow gets to the little box, we want to switch to approach. So I'll just hold my mouse over approach and wait for the arrow to come down. Right, so it's almost on the rectangle now. So I'll click approach, and as you can see, it's starting to wobble. Our plane. It's on a dead course for the runway, and as you can see, we're decreasing in altitude. The plane will swerve off course at different points as it's adjusting itself. Don't panic, it will come on course if you set it up correctly. The arrow is dead in the box, which means it's following the glide path. Don't worry if it moves too much out, you should still follow it down and be roundabouts the runway, but preferably you want to be in the middle of the box. And as you can see up ahead, that the lights are too white, too red. This means you're on a perfect glide slope. You want to cut your throttle, so you slow right down and maybe give it a bit of flaps in case you're going a little bit too fast. At the moment I'm doing around about 150. Slowing down drastically now. Don't worry about the lights at this point, because you can see that you're going to hit down on the runway. Hopefully they should change back to too red, too white as I'm about to touch down. There we go. So as I hit the runway, I want to apply the brakes, not too early, as you may skid. So here we have touchdown, fully automated. All I've just been doing is touching the speed and the brakes. So I want to slow to a halt now. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it's given you tips and point you in the right directions. If you need any help, just PM me on my YouTube channel. Thank you, goodbye, and good luck.